Hey YouTube. So I'm just like this is my first time posting anything, and yes, it is dark. I have all the lights off and I know it'd be so much better if I had lights on. But I don't right now. So I'm reaching out to people that are into paranormal type things. I got a lot of stuff that's going on in my house. I've lived here for like 9.5 years, and there's just way too much activity and things that are going on. And I'm looking for people to reach out and talk to. I can give you an incident. I can give you a lot. I mean, of course, I've been here 9.5 years, but that's a lot to like really super uber talk about. Um, I guess the most recent one was some weeks ago, and my son, he was going to the bathroom, and it was like, oh, should we get light now? There we go. He was going to the bathroom, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and he freaked out, and he came running down the hallway, which is right there. And he comes running and he jumps in my arms. And I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, Mom, there's somebody, there's a creature standing, outside his sister's door. Now, I have two daughters and I have two sons. But the two bedrooms that are back at the bathroom is my daughter, who's 20 now. That's her former bedroom, which my 7-year-old took over, the one that we're talking about. And then the one across the hall, who is my 14-year-old, which we've known for some time. We know about a lady that makes her presence known and so forth. My 14-year-old started going through some changes, and I don't want to say it has anything to do with what's like going on in the house, but or like the friends that she's been hanging out with, but she's been gone now. I put her in treatment, for reasons that I will not disclose on social media. It's whatever. But, with her being gone, and like I said about my son, let me just, I get off on tangents, sorry. So, I'm like, oh, stop being scared. It's the middle of the day. Go take your ass to the bathroom, right? And then he doesn't want to go. So I gotta walk him to the bathroom. And then about, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks later, 2.5 weeks later, my 20-year-old comes over because I'm babysitting my grandson. So, they're getting ready to leave, and we put the playpen away and whatnot. And she's like, Mom, you better do something about the house. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? And she's like, oh yeah, you got something down that hallway that is nothing nice. And I'm like, what? I'm like, well, tell me about it. Talk to me. I can't do nothing if you don't open up your mouth. And so she starts to tell me, and I said, hold on, wait a minute. So then I call for her brother, my 7-year-old. And I'm like, Ty, come here, please. And so he comes, and he's like, what's up? And I said, tell Sissy what you saw in the hallway a couple weeks ago when you went to go use the bathroom. And he demonstrates what he saw, the figure and everything. And and I waited for my 7-year-old to leave out the kitchen. And my 20-year-old looks at me and she goes, Mom, that is exactly what I saw. She goes, it is dark. I was like, well, what did the face look like? I said, because Tyler showed what his face looked like, what he saw. And he was on his way to the bathroom. So Tyler had way more closer contact than my 20-year-old, because my 20-year-old was leaving and she had to go, as she was coming out the kitchen, you got to pass the hallway, going straight, to go out the front door. And she caught it out the corner of her eye. And she just pretended, she told me she pretended like she didn't see it. Okay. And so now we're talking about this, like I said, 2.5 weeks later, whatever. And she said, Mom, I can't even tell you the face. She goes, I can tell you it was dark. It was dark and it was scary. And I just pretended it wasn't there and I left. And I said, okay. Now, prior to all that, kids are at school. I'm sitting here in the living room. It's about 9:15 in the morning. And I hear something like boxes being moved in my basement. And it sounded like maybe the top box may have fell or something like that. And I'm just sitting here and I was listening. I'm the only one here. I said, okay. I didn't dare get up because it did kind of spook me. I'm a scary bitch. I'm sorry. I am. I investigate, I think, sometimes I overanalyze some things, just in normal everyday life. But anyway, and so now maybe, I don't know, I get on Facebook and I post on Facebook and I'm like, why did I just hear blah, 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 blah? So one of my best friends, they're like, you need to go investigate. I'm like, oh, hell no. I ain't gonna take my ass downstairs and investigate some shit. Fuck that. And I know that there's an old man in my basement because you'll hear the dial on my washer like turn. When it goes click, 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 click. Okay. And it's just like it's constantly turning, like whatever. And I've heard that now for the last couple of years. Me going downstairs to do laundry or going downstairs to clean up the family room, walking up the stairs, you get halfway up the basement stairs. I've heard my name being called. I've gone downstairs thinking one of my friends were down there, gathering their stuff together because they were getting ready to leave. And there was nobody there. But I've felt like a presence following me going up the basement stairs, but it stops halfway. It goes no further. So I don't know if that's just the old man. I've seen shadow people. Especially there's a gentleman with a top hat that stands at my patio door at nighttime. I've seen him since I moved in. I do believe there are shadow people in my hallway that stand by the clothes chute. So whenever I have to get up in the middle of the night, like right now, I gotta pee so bad. I just close my eyes when I walk down the hallway and I just feel for the door and I go pee. But, I don't know. I'm just, I subscribe to some people here on YouTube, with stuff that they talk about. So I'm really hoping that maybe somebody could, subscribe to me or leave me a comment or something. I did smudge the house once, but I think I did it wrong, so it didn't work. My daughter did pick up a big thing of smudge, twined up with twine, it was tied up with twine, and my 11-year-old son is the one that seems more demonic than anybody. It's pretty damn creepy. you know, when it comes to my son.